Anything that has to do with culinary arts, whether it's cooking, baking, or just books or stuff that has to do with cooking, you can actually find here. In terms of cuisine, we are looking for more of a cross-continental approach, meaning that we serve a lot of Western food, but we don't serve a lot of Asian-inspired food. We decided to stick to what people might find desirable in terms of like cuisine. So we stick to very classics of food. Like for example, we'll have a lot of French-inspired dishes, American-inspired dishes, Italian dishes, German dishes, just to actually provide that travel approach to our cuisine. Because there's always a recall to the familiar. So when they taste something here that came from Spain, then oh, something from Germany, something from Italy, and something from England and America, and so far it has worked. I actually started as an apprentice, just like anybody else, in a small provincial restaurant in Manhattan, New York. It's called La Colombe d'Or. The nice thing about it, this restaurant was actually owned by the people who inspired the book A Year in Provence, which is actually a required reading for people who love France. After that, I came home. And then I was part of the first professional culinary school in the Philippines. It's called Center for Culinary Arts, which is actually celebrating already 2 decades. So if you're asking me how long I've been cooking, I guess it's about 20 years or so. Then just to name a few places, I was also an executive chef for a hospital. I also did institutional cooking at the St. Luke's Hospital here in the Philippines. It's actually one of the biggest leading hospitals in the Philippines. So I was their executive chef for a while. I was also able to open a few restaurants, namely the stock market at the 4th Bonifacio Global City here in Makati. We also did C2 Classic Cuisine, which is actually a take on our Filipino cuisine. We also did Casa Rosas, which is actually a Spanish-inspired Filipino mashup located in front of the President's Palace in Manila. We also did the C3 Event Space, which is actually a banqueting venue. So we also did hotel experiences like, Summit Ridge in Tagaytay, which is actually a vacation spot in the Philippines.
I remit, may ngiti sa bawat padala.
I'm passionate about food, but I'm also passionate about the education of people learning how to cook food. And it's actually a good also complement to what we do. So far the combination has really worked. It is quite unusual to find a culinary school in a restaurant in the Philippine setting, because usually they will be separate. People who cook come from different persuasions. So whether you like to do it as a professional for a living, whether you're doing it as a hobby, as a homemaker, or whether you're doing it just to get a degree so that you can utilize it in the future. Characteristic that makes a Filipino great in the kitchen is that we are perfect mimics. I mean, they would say that if we were birds, we would be the parrots of the bird kingdom, because we can actually mimic very well. Is that a good characteristic? Yes. Everybody has good interpersonal skills in the Philippines. This actually makes us a top choice when it comes to running kitchens around the world. And add to that, we have this innate need to travel. For some reason, if you're a young Filipino, the desire is actually to go abroad. Whether we come from an island nation or a series of islands, maybe that's it, or maybe there's that thing itching in our foot, to travel. It really is that our desire to travel and at the same time please people. I know for a fact that people pleasing is not always a good characteristic, but then again, if you're a chef or a cook, I think we aim to please. The ability to focus and concentrate and to actually give your 100% best every time you're in the restaurant is important. So the main fact that we're not replicating, but we're actually trying to make ourselves better every day and actually trying to make this place a destination or a culinary haven here in the South is my end goal, and it's what makes the place different. A hallmark of a good restaurateur or a good chef is that he treats each dish coming out of his kitchen on its own. It is not part of a group process, but it's actually part of a personal immersion of that chef into a certain dish. Now, this kind of experience or this kind of advice is good because it will be something that you can use from day one, maybe until the last day you go.